Give it to me honestly, no lips, so I can sniff, make sure sweet before I try. Hey, that's just me on my espresso cruise.
Thank you.
Okay, right, so I am now sitting here with the lovely Daisy Chute and Brunette, two, well, what we say, wild cards. This is actually quite funny because it's quite interesting today. The two ladies that we've got here for our little coffee chat is two wild cards in the competition for the Coffee Music Project. How does it feel actually just being part of the competition, just overall? How did you feel just being a part of it?
Well, I haven't been part of a competition like this for a long time. Like the last time I was when I was a teenager, I guess. I think the last time I did it was when I was like 14 and I was on Stars in Their Eyes Kids.
Oh really? What did you?
So can you guess? I'm just curious. What do you think? No. Any guesses? Okay. Well, a lot of people like wonder whether I did something more recent, but I did something quite classic. Judy Garland was my person I impersonated. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but that was a long time ago. So I feel a little out of touch with the competition world. And but I've done like songwriting competitions where you record something and send it in, and you know that's been quite cool. But actually performing it as well at a whole other level, it's quite scary.
And what about you? How did you?
Well, it's kind of the same for me as well. The last competition I'd done was when I was 16, so about 5 years ago. And then I saw it and I was like, you know what? I've gotten so into songwriting, and then I was like, I need to kind of push myself out of my comfort zone. I need to do this. I need to, you know, and it's great exposure. It's for a great cause. And I was like, what could go wrong? So yeah, I think I was the most nervous in the preliminaries. I think it was just because everyone was just so close as well, and and it was just like it was just there, you know. It just happened.
And you're going in there completely cold. You don't know what anything's going to be like. Yeah.
Exactly. The first time is always a bit, you know, nerve-wracking, but I just got to tell myself, like, do your thing. You got this, girl. You got this. And so and here we are today. You know,
It is quite interesting because the dynamic between the two venues that you've performed in. So you've got the O-Bar, you've got Freedom. It's going to change again for 229 finals. I have to say, even just being there and hosting, because the O-Bar is very naked, it's almost like you're playing unplugged, isn't it?
Yeah, that's how I felt.
And
and
with Freedom is a little bit more amplified. And so you found the O-Bar, was that the same for you? A bit more nerve-wracking than playing at Freedom?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that was nerve-wracking about the semi-final was doing the London song.
The dreaded London song.
Yeah, because it was like I hadn't, you know, I was so fresh, and so the first round it was songs that I'd sung loads of times, so I felt good about that. So that was the most nerve-wracking thing about it, I think. But I love the free. I love both of them actually for different reasons. I think they're great places. I definitely will try and play there again.
No, most definitely. And what was, so you had to write something about London. So what was your inspiration? How did you sit there and come up with the lyrics to write? Because listening to both your songs, you've got both slightly different takes on it. What made you go for your style, and what made you go for your style?
Well, I don't even know we don't know each other's songs.
That's the
I'm really
interesting thing.
excited to hear it. Yeah.
Mine was it's very my sort of style, you know, like it's a very audience involved sort of track.
We stick together, it makes us stronger. A united nation, sing it back to me. It makes us stronger. A united nation, sing it back to me.
And I knew that I didn't want to write something about, you know, finding my lost love in London. That's not really my style. And I was thinking, the whole thing was to find the concept first, and then I just wanted to write something which explained what London was about. So then I was like, okay, so I was naming all these sort of things. So I named about Banksy, and I named about the red telephone boxes that you see in London, you know, the very old school ones.
Banksy out on the streets, big red box, car river forever, always landing on your feet. Safe in her arms, had I on from the start.
kind of capturing the essence of what London is really about, and and I felt really proud about writing it after. I felt like it was a challenge, but it was a good challenge, and really enjoyed it. Honestly, I really enjoyed it.
What about you?
Yeah, I went through loads of different drafts of different kinds of things. I started off with one that was like a lot more like happy and kind of like cheeky and then I was like, actually right now for me London is a bit grittier than that. It's a bit kind of, there's like a darker thing going on as well, so the song was all was using kind of fire metaphors and
a city always moving on. London's on fire. London's on fire. We go round this town and burn it down and build it up higher and higher.
so that London being on fire basically, and I kind of mentioned at one point like mourning with the tower blocks, because sort of tribute to Grenfell basically.
Rain that freezes far below, that freezes with the snow, that never knows the fire's glow. It's threading through the city docks and winding with the clocks and mourning with the tower blocks.
Well, just kind of there's the other side to London that's kind of the idea that we're always building it up and knocking it down and building it up and knocking it, and it's just kind of trying to get bigger and bigger with it, but kind of also destroying some of the good things about it too while doing it. So
I mean, that's the thing, I didn't really want to do anything negative about London, and I was making a list and I was like, this is all negative, I can't use this.
Whereas I just went for it and I was like, okay, if you don't like it.
So that was also a challenge, to write something that was positive and about London.
But the thing is, it didn't have to be positive. It was just, it's all about your interpretation. It's what you wanted to get across about London. So it didn't really matter whether it was positive or negative, as long as you got across what you felt.
Yeah.
And am I right in saying your London song, you finished it the day before?
Yeah, the day before, and then on the day I was making tweaks still, like you as well, I think.
Yeah.
Just like making little lyric changes and because you're always editing, especially with a new song, and so I mean, I still really want to like edit lots of bits of it, so it might be slightly different again the next time, if that's okay.
No, it's fine. I suppose you've only performed it in front of the Coffee Music Project once before.
Yeah.
So obviously with the next round of the finals, it's the second time I've got to perform it.
Yeah.
And well, I suppose we're looking forward to see how it's progressed.
Yeah.
How much more comfortable you'll be within
Within the song.
the song itself.
Totally.
Yes, but that'd be quite interesting.
Yeah.
If you won the competition, how would that make you feel?
Oh, wow.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
How would it make you feel?
Yeah, it would feel amazing. I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
I'd hate it. What do you mean? No, I would love that. That'd be awesome. I think it would be. Well, I think I respect so many of the people I've seen through the rounds, and I would kind of. On one hand, I'd be like, really? Yeah. But on the other hand, it would be very flattering and I know it's all subjective. I know that it just depends on the taste of the people who are judging, in the end. And so, and we all have different, if we had different judges for each thing, we probably would all have a reason to win, just depending on people's taste. So but it would be amazing. I'd love to go to New York, and I'd love to be able to invest that money into my album, basically. So, yeah.
That's a good thing to invest the money in. And going to New York, I have to say, is I've been there with the Coffee Music Project. It's amazing. I cannot wait to go to New York. I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm not winning a prize. I'm just going. So that's fine for me. What about you?
Well, I mean, I've never been New York, so I would love to go to New York. It's on my bucket list actually, to go to New York.
It was on mine too. That was on
Really?
mine too. To go to New York for music.
Yes, yeah.
And I did it. And that was on my
Yeah, it's for music, but also in the winter as well, because I want to go ice skating and that.
Not with
This is my thing, I don't know.
Autumn in New York. I mean,
Autumn in New York is
lovely.
lovely.
Yeah.
It's true. I mean, when I saw that as the prize, I was just like, what? And then I was like, but it's so far away. But now it
you can't even.
but now it's like, it could happen.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot the question.
How would you feel if you won? Like, what would it mean to you to win?
Oh my god.
So you
it
mentioned
would feel amazing.
going to New York would be on your bucket list, but what about everything else? And
I mean, I've never won a competition before, so for me it would be a huge achievement. I'd be like, you know, putting this all over my Instagram, all over my socials. But yeah, I mean, at the same time, we're all artists grinding for what we want, you know. It doesn't mean that one of us is more able to do something than the rest of us, you know. And like, we're all different artists, you know. Coming into the competition, there's so many different, you know, me and you are completely different from ourselves. And so whoever wins, you know, then
It's just a
fine,
matter of
you know,
taste in the end.
it's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
So, looking at all of that, what made you decide to get into music in the first place? Like, what made you decide to get one morning and say, right, this is what I want to do. I want to create music and just get my love and my passion for it out there. What made you decide to do?
I mean, I started from a really, really young age. I was doing Bowden, so which was like acting, singing, dancing school. And then I found that music was really my thing, it was like my passion. And then I stopped when I was about 9 years old or something. And
Stopped when you were 9. So
yeah,
you must have started pretty young.
I was like 5 or 6 at the time, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I've done adverts and everything with the DFS and everything.
Wow.
And yeah, it was pretty cool. I done one on my birthday as well, and I got like these sweets as well. And I had to kiss a guy. A boy.
Right, when you
I was
were
a boy at the time.
young.
Yeah. It was just on the cheek.
Oh,
I was
okay,
just
yeah,
like, yeah. All the time.
At the age where boys is like that.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I have to kiss the boy. They had to bribe me with some toys, and I was like, alright, fine. But yeah, so and then I stopped Bowden's, and I kind of really felt that withdrawal. So then I just said to my parents, I want to do music. I know I want to do music, definitely. So they took me to a studio when I was 12, where they taught me to write, and they were also offering like seminars and vocal training and all sorts really. So at the age of 13 I was actually writing independently, and then from then on I was just really working on my music, you know. At the age of 16 I was doing a lot of the roundhouse. A lot of my free time was just spent, you know, in the studios and at writing sessions.
Similar thing, I started really young. I was lucky to have parents who were encouraging a bit rather than discouraging, like a lot of my friends had. So I was sent to different teachers and things, and I went to music schools from a young age. Yeah, I mean, I was like going to concerts from when I was like super young as well. Like concerts I probably didn't really like understand, like jazz concerts and classical concerts, but like actually it was such a good education just being in the room with those amazing musicians. And my mum played piano and taught me lots of songs and stuff when I was growing up, and then I just I mean, my story's kind of quite long-winded, so I don't want to go into all of the things, but I grew up in Scotland. I came down to London when I was 16, and I was signed to Universal with my old band basically. So I had like this huge kind of like amazing break when I was really young, but I was always writing songs, and it was the music we were doing in the band was like classical music, so quite different actually. And but I was always writing songs, and I always wanted to be doing sort of the singer-songwriter thing actually. But we did 3 albums, and we toured, and we did lots of amazing things. But I was always scribbling away, writing stuff, and like starting to gig a bit myself. And so finally now I'm kind of like working on my own album of songs that I really feel proud of. So not that I don't feel proud of what I did with the group, but I just feels like now is like I'm finally doing what I've always wanted to do.
And going in the direction that's more
Yeah.
you, definitely.
Yeah.
Talking about music, and you've both got different musical styles and different musical sort of backgrounds. Who would you say was your biggest influences in music, the people that you look to and aspire to be like?
Christina Aguilera.
Really?
She was always my idol, just because when I listened to her, you could just hear the raw emotion, and she was always one to go for it, and that was always me. You know, I was always like, I don't know if I can do it. Let's try it. You know, that was always me. I always throw myself out of my comfort zone, and you know, take risks and everything. And yeah, she is definitely one to look up to. But I mean, throughout, like, I don't know. I mean, there's so many artists that I could name, but that one artist is
That's
always
the main one for you.
I think I have a similar thing where I was thinking of like listing all these different artists, but actually
That's
the one that like sticks with me and that I always say first or feel first is Joni Mitchell for me, because she's just like a real songwriter, and like I've always admired the fact that she did so many different styles of music as well, because that's kind of also me. Like I come from the classical background obviously, and also jazz background, and like I love that she kind of did her jazz albums as well, and like collaborated with lots of different people and did orchestral albums. And anyway, so like I'm just a big Joni Mitchell fan, and so if I could be anything like her as a songwriter, that would be my life ambition complete. So
when I hear a track, and if I hear a track that I really love, then I will go and search out everything about it. Like the songwriters I always search out, and a lot of the time I see Max Martin, who is like the god of pop songs, pop hits. So for me, I'd love to work with him. He would be like, I think my life would be complete.
And what about you? Who would you like to work with?
That's tricky. I've kind of found it. I've been lucky as a session singer to work with quite a few people I really admire. But as a songwriter, I mean, like I'd love to. This is probably somebody that not many people will know, but he's like a bluegrass person who I love, because a guy called Chris Thiele, who's like a mandolin player in America, and he's just, everything he touches turns to gold, and like I just love to write with him.
If you had to choose a genre that would take you out of your comfort zones, what would you do and what would you do?
Out of my comfort zone.
Out of your comfort zone. So you're more down the pop, urban sort of route. You're going like more bluegrass, touching on kind of folk aspects, and there are hints of classical in there as well, which I do love.
Oh, cool.
So what would be the ways you would go about doing things?
Oh man, interesting.
The thing is that I've written in a lot of different genres anyway, like because I study songwriting at uni, and in our second year we were thrown into loads of different briefs and everything. So we've done everything from like writing to a drum beat to I'm getting onto the drums. Drum beat to lyrics, just writing lyrics and then writing a melody to it, and then writing something completely out of our comfort zone, which for me was grime. I can't rap. I probably sound like Iggy Azalea or something. I don't know. So I don't know. No, I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. So I'll probably like put on the whole, accent and everything. I'm not gonna do it because I'm actually on this. But so that was that for me, and like I've written in a different like country music as well, and funk and all sorts really. So
okay, I'm going to pressure you. If you had to pick one, would it just be the grime, or would it be grime, or would you one you would say, if someone came to me tomorrow from that genre and said, I've just got this one
it has to
banging
be
record, okay, cool,
it has to be.
that'll be cool. What about you?
I've been trying to think about this since you asked it, but I literally am just going around in circles.
Yeah.
I think if I like a genre, I tend to already sort of start writing in it anyway. But things that I'd find challenging would be something like grime, something like rap, that kind of world. I mean, I don't think I could ever rap as much as I'd love to be able to. I don't think that's ever something I can do.
What would you sound like? Who would you sound like?
If I like artist wise?
Yeah.
I think I'd sound closer to like Ed Sheeran rapping than anyone else.
Alright.
Sorry, I don't feel
It's
bad for saying
fine.
But I don't know. Ooh, man, it's so
It's
hard.
tricky, isn't it, when you have to sort of think about it?
Yeah.
Because you tend to see that in the music industry as well, you see a lot of collaborations with people from completely different genres and backgrounds, and it works. So you'll find somebody actually in the hip hop or the rap world who would come and find somebody who's doing bluegrass or doing folk music and collaborate with them.
And
it's
just
just golden. It just works. How the way it sort of works together.
I think it would be the kind
And the other
of
way
genre
around.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think it would kind of be the genre that you listen to the least. because the music that we listen to the most, we kind of learn, even if it's subliminally, we learn how it's structured, we learn what they sing about, you know, the content and everything.
Yeah.
So I think it would be, because I don't listen to a lot of grime and I don't listen to a lot of rap, you know.
I think then probably the thing I listen to least is something like heavy metal. But you know what? That looks really fun. Actually, that is really fun to do.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, to like just like go mental and like really go for something like that.
Hair
Yeah,
and
totally.
Yeah.
That'd be quite. I quite like to like
That's
let my hair down.
something I would love to see. If you ever did it, I will book a ticket.
Okay. Right,
Daisy
Chute, do
Chute,
a
a heavy metal concert. I'm
Okay.
there.
Deal.
Going back now to the competition and everything that's surrounding everything. So we've looked at you taking part in the Coffee Music Project and what that's been sort of like. How have you felt knowing that the Coffee Music Project and everything that you've been working around, and even just having people coming to the events, is all going and supporting Project Waterfall? How's that made you feel and influenced you within this competition?
It makes you feel like you're making a difference. You know, you're not completely used to. I mean, that's a really harsh thing to say. That's really harsh. You're gonna cut that out, right?
No, but I know what you mean, because it's like, it's sort of, you feel sometimes a bit not selfish, but like self-oriented.
Yeah,
but when you actually have
revolves
something that
around
can,
you and,
exactly,
you know,
that can help somebody else, then it's like it's a way of using your
And
music.
we're using our we're using our art and our gift to help other people, and that's a really good feeling, you know. And the fact that other people are coming to support me as well, and I'm making them aware of it as well.
Yes.
And you never know that £1 could make that huge difference. So, yeah,
It's true. It really does make a difference. So, I think one of the interesting things is that when we're at the coffee festival, which is coming up in April, 12th to the 15th, so we've got that coming up, and you'll be performing at the festival as well, which is fantastic. So I'm looking forward to seeing those performances.
Yeah.
But one of the things that we sort of look at on the Project Waterfall stand is there's a question that they normally ask, and it's like, what would you do without water? Like so the question is without water I would. What would you do? If somebody said to you, without water, what would you do?
Without drinking water, or without
Just without water. Imagine tomorrow you got up, even if it was just for that one day, and you had no water. How would it make you feel? What would you do?
I'd feel so tired. I know that's so bad, but I mean, because I drink around 2 litres of water every day, and without water, and I know that if I haven't drunk enough, I feel tired, I feel like I don't want to do anything.
Without water, I would smell.
Oh yeah, that's it. The only way would only last so long, yeah, it's true.
That's so true.
That's so true. Oh my god, why didn't I think of that?
The thing is, it's because it's key things that we take for granted, isn't it? You assume you're going to get up in the morning, there's going to be hot water, we're going to have a shower, we're going to have some sort of tea or just general water to drink.
Be able to brush your teeth, but
And then I mean, we've had some people say, oh, without water I drink wine, but you still need water to grow the
make-
stuff, to get the wine or to have your juice or whatever it is.
Water's the source
Even
of
the
everything.
products that you use to cream your skin, to your hair.
We kind of take it for granted in
We
a way.
really, really do.
Because we can get water anywhere. We can walk into a shop and they give free water. But I mean, since I've been doing the competition, I don't know if you've been doing this, but I've been turning off the water when I can. You know,
it's
like
made
for
you
when
a
I'm
bit more conscious
a bit
about
more
it.
conscious. Yeah, like when I was brushing my teeth the other day, usually I just have it running.
Yeah.
You know, listen to music as you do, but I was literally just like turn it off. You know.
But it's actually nice to see that we're getting together through music
Yeah.
and coffee,
Yeah.
and
Which is basically
making
like water
a
that's flavoured
difference.
better.
It is. I couldn't live without coffee.
Yeah, me
I
neither.
have to say, not because of just perking me up. I live for I just love
love it, I love
everything
it,
about
yeah.
it. Yeah, I really do. That makes me sad. I don't know, but
It makes me
it's
sad
fine.
too.
No, it's right.
It's
My mom's
fine.
a big coffee person. I've never been a coffee person. I've always been a tea person.
See, I like them both equally. I like my coffee and I like my tea.
Yeah.
and both need copious amounts of
Particular taste
water
as well.
to
Yeah.
be here. So,
Yeah.
it's like, to being part of this, even for myself, is great because I know just that little bit that I do, I give something back, and people can get certain things, and it's always great. Going through all of this at the moment, what would you say so far has been like the highlight for you so far?
I mean, this is probably what everybody would say, but I definitely think just meeting all the people I've met and hearing all these other artists and their songs, that's been the most amazing part. So I've got like a whole new like list of people I want to like listen to all the time now, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just I think that's been the big part, just discovering new music. That's been the highlight for me. So yeah, what about you?
I don't really know. There's so many good things, there's so many like benefits. But for me, I think it was just the London track. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I didn't really get a chance to speak to a lot of people, and I'm hoping that the coffee festival will just bring us closer. Because when you're in a competition environment, you don't. It's always a bit like. With you know, I just want to be your friend, you know, and just
And
talk
you're
about
always
music.
focused on
You're
your
focused
performance,
on
on your
yeah,
performance as
and
well.
also you're so nervous as well. There's so many things going round in your head, you know. You're just trying to get your your headspace straight before you go on. But yeah, for me, I can't say that necessarily. So I'd say the London.
Yeah, I have to agree. I always love having a deadline to write a new song because like this the biggest push for like finishing
it's exciting
something
as well. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, so that was good to have that too.
Yeah.
I love. Yeah, I'm going to definitely sing my London song at all my future gigs. I think it seemed to go down well, so I'm happy with it. Yeah.
So we've looked at all of these things. Now I'm going to ask you. We were just talking about this a little bit earlier. Some interesting kind of facts.
Here we go.
Fun and interesting. Now I'm not fun. I might be interesting. So that's one thing I found difficult to even answer for myself. So I'm intrigued to see what you're going to come up with in terms of.
Thinking of it, so that's why. Can we do one?
Okay, sure.
Okay, yeah, cool.
I might run out though. I only have
Yeah,
one
me
or
too.
two.
That's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. I'm going first anyway, so it's fine. Yeah. So I think a fun, interesting fact about me is that I'm actually learning to. I'm learning sign language at the moment. And
okay.
well, I mean, I started learning when I was around 16, and I had to do it for my guides badge because I was going to become a guides leader.
First time you've laughed.
So I had to do it, and then I found it really interesting and stuff. So I recently started learning it, by myself. So, but then I realised I was learning the international way, whereas I weren't learning the British way. Sorry, that's British and that's international.
Oh really?
Yeah. So that's see, I like to talk with my
You
hands.
really do.
That's another thing. That's why I really wanted to do it. So
Yeah.
it gives me more things to do in my hands, because why not? So then I met someone who was deaf the other day, and I started signing with him, and he was like, "You're kind of, I understand you, but you're doing it wrong." So he started teaching me a bit more as well. So then it was also that bond as well, getting to know new people and getting to communicate. Obviously, I love to talk. You can't
No,
tell.
I've never regressed.
So that also gives me another avenue to communicate, and so that's something that I want to do.
Over to you, Daisy.
Oh, nothing nearly as honourable as that.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, fun and interesting fact about me. Okay, so I am related to 4 former presidents of the US.
Oh.
Yeah,
Four.
including Obama. But first of all, it's George Washington, Zachary Taylor, James Madison, and and
How did
Obama,
you
Barack
find this
Obama.
out? Was this on
Well-
the 23?
But you know that 23 and Me. Well, actually, it wasn't on that because I don't think that George Washington's DNA is on that. That'd be amazing if it was. But actually, it was because when Obama was inaugurated, there was an article written about him and how he was related to all these other presidents. And my mum is huge on family history, so she had like already found out that we were related to them as well. So it all kind of was the same connection.
We are in the presence of power, my friend.
How am I going to top that? How am I going to top that?
Well, you can't really, actually.
I can't.
Should we just stop now?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, well, it's over to you now again. We still need to.
Okay. Oh god. That was so cool.
It really was. It just makes you sort of think, oh,
Oh, I'm sorry.
there's nothing interesting about me now.
No. Well, this is not something I've chosen. You've chosen it to do sign language. That's much cooler. This is just.
Oh yeah,
like,
exactly. I
my
haven't.
blood. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's just in my blood.
Yeah, no, but like that's not something I'm responsible
Said
for.
it like I just went to go and buy a loaf of bread. To be related to Obama. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Okay, I've got a lot on my bucket list, but one of them is because I'm fascinated with the underground and everything. I think it's the colours. I just love colours. So it's all like, connected and everything. So my bucket list is to go on all of the undergrounds. Like, go to every
That's a
single
really good
station.
one.
So then I've got a big TFL map and I'm gonna start putting like stars on it and everything. I know it's lame, but it's just oh god.
That's a great one. I want to do the same thing.
Yeah, so
That'd be
like,
so good.
so that is literally it. So I want to do that in my lifetime.
So we've just
Oh, right.
done
I'd hope
tube
you'd
maps.
forgotten.
Now that was interesting. That actually was really interesting.
That was a good one.
And I would like to see the finished
Yeah.
collage
Okay.
of
Challenge.
stations.
You got to give yourself a deadline.
So that
I just probably get to like 50 years old and then I'm like, oh,
But then they'll open also to new
Okay.
ones.
yeah, well, that's true.
try and do it before then
Imagine.
because I probably won't be around. So that's
Okay.
and that's for you.
We'll aim for like 5 years time, okay?
Actually, when you said that, well, it made me think of something else that I'd sworn I would do, which is a little bit bigger in terms of like it will cost me a lot more. I wanted to go to all of the countries in the EU before we Brexit, basically.
Really?
Yeah, and perform
That
in
would
each
be
of them.
expensive.
Be a bit
Yeah.
more expensive, yeah. than
That's
the
what you
tube.
could do with the money.
Hey, that's very true. Yeah, I was hoping to pay for it like by doing the music instead of having
Yeah.
that pay for it. And I did it.
Doing
I
a
did
gig in each one of those places.
Exactly.
That could be a good.
Yeah,
that could be
so
a good one.
I'm planning to try and do it before we leave the EU, but that's not giving me much time at all.
So over to you for your last fact. Interesting thing. It can be fun and interesting, or just fun, or just interesting.
I bet you I'm going to think of one later, which is really good. And I'm like, darn it, I didn't use that one. I'm honestly not sure because I used to have a party trick where I just pour water through the front of my teeth, and then my teeth closed up so I couldn't do it.
I can't do that either, I used to do it.
I used to be able to do it so well. It was like,
Oh, like shoot it up! Oh my god!
and now I can't do that. So.
We're trying to save water here,
See,
guys.
I've got a gap.
Alright,
I've got a gap.
it's only a little bit, okay?
And I've got a gap, but I can't do that. But my gap's closing as well, so maybe I should try and see if I can do it.
Yeah.
Not now, but before the gap does completely close. So yeah. Interesting.
But
I've done that before.
I don't know. I mean, it's to do with music though. Does that matter?
No.
That's fine.
Okay, cool. Okay. So when I was 16, I was asked to perform for Eurovision for the Cyprus entry.
The Cyprus.
And
Are
I
you from
was-
Cyprus?
I'm half Greek.
Oh,
I'm half Greek.
okay.
I can't speak it though. But yeah, so I was asked to do that, and I was this close to doing it. But that was the year that they didn't enter.
There you go.
That's definitely interesting.
Okay.
Thank God that's
Okay, so this is a really silly one that doesn't really like. Okay, so this is
Go on,
just
go on.
okay. So in an apocalypse, I would be absolutely useless because I don't know how to drive and I don't know how to ride a bike. So I would just.
bike either. Oh, that's good. It's okay. I can drive. So it's right.
Actually, I
Okay,
can't. I
you
can't
can
ride a
drive
bike
this.
either. Actually, I think I can't ride a bike.
What? Oh my god! No, I was thinking this was interesting. And this is like I'm not even unusual in this circle.
I can't ride a bike. No,
Okay, I feel better for that.
I can ride
That's
you
good.
with
I can drive. Just.
Okay, you guys can
I
drive.
can
right?
just. But I can't ride a bike.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so the
Okay,
three of
we'll
us
just
will-
huddle in a corner
Just,
somewhere.
so we'll just make sure if there ever is an apocalypse where all three of us are not together with a bike, that's going to get us to safety.
That's happening. We're going anywhere.
Okay, anyway.
Basically.
Not anywhere near Tangier.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's cool.
I've never thought about what I do in an apocalypse. I'd probably just do the same stuff. It's true. I'm like,
Until you
I
couldn't
can't
anymore.
change it.
But you can't get on the internet anymore though, so you'd be like,
Oh,
imagine.
damn.
Oh my god, what would we do?
What would I do? Oh my god.
Yeah, so that is that. No, that would. I think that would be an apocalypse in itself, wouldn't it? The
Yeah.
internet just went down worldwide.
Wow.
Imagine.
That'd be interesting.
What would happen? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Deep.
It's true. How did you go from coffee to this?
So look, it's funny how we were talking about apocalypse and we were all kind of light-hearted. As soon as we were the internet, we were like,
Oh. Yeah, but that was more than the
so much
water.
on it.
Actually, internet seems to be more important to us than water. That's
that's
terrible.
not good.
That is not good.
It's not good, is it?
No,
Just
no.
goes to show you what we like as a shallow society.
Yeah.
But keeping it on the not shallow society, but we are all a little bit shallow, I guess, in some ways, some shape or form.
Yeah.
So if one of you two were to be crowned the winner, so Rubicon for you handed her crown over to either one of you two.
Presidency over here.
Right? Oh, and Miss Obama. You know how we already know how you would feel if you won, but would you continue to support Project Waterfall?
Yeah, I think it's so important, and I think exactly. So talking about it at gigs and releasing charity singles, that kind of thing. I think that would totally. I've always wanted to be able to be more charitable, but as a full-time musician, I just don't really have much spare money. But I know what I can offer is time and my music, right? So I've always felt like that would be the best way to make a difference, and the only way I can really make a difference is by actually offering my time and my abilities. So yeah, I would definitely. I think it's a great cause. I think, and it's something I didn't know enough about before this competition. I'm really glad I know.
Which is
more
what
about it.
we're trying to do, get more awareness about it out there, because I think it's something that needs to be spoken about more.
This is your idea. This is your initiative, the Coffee Music Project.
No, it's not. It's a team initiative, like with Ellehcor, and.
Right.
But I mean, how did it come about?
Well, it sort of came about. Well, it initially sort of started where Sam and I would do events at the London Coffee Festival, and that would happen every year. We work with artists and stuff. And Jeff, the CEO, always wanted to do some sort of competition that Sam and I have done in the past. We've done many competitions, and funny enough, we used to have themes that people had to write things about. So I think one of them was on the waterfront, and another one was what was the? That was it. Only place to be. So that was just the title. So you had to write those are the song titles.
I love that.
And
That's awesome.
so we sort of collaborated in that, and Sam pushed quite a lot to say, right, okay, let's make this happen. You want to do it? We know how to do it. Let's work together, make this happen. And here we are, Coffee Music Project's been born. And the amazing thing is now that we've in London, New York, and we'll be launching it in LA later this year.
When is that happening?
That'll be in November.
Because I was thinking because there's I was thinking of maybe going out there at the end of the year. At some point.
Oh,
So,
I'll
yeah.
be sure to let you know of the exact dates when everything is completely finalised. But yeah, that definitely will be happening this year.
And of course, Cape Town as well. This
Cape Town is planned for next.
Next year.
That'll be for next year.
So amazing.
But these
It's
are
really great.
but these are the key three that are ongoing. So obviously London's been the one that's been ongoing a little bit longer. It was the first one that was launched. Closely followed by New York, and it's a great musical exchange.
Yeah.
It's a really good musical exchange. So
Yeah. So it's a really great idea.
Well, I mean, it's already achieved something in letting us and making us aware.
Yeah.
Like I said, you said it, I can't remember who said it, but I mean, I wasn't aware of this charity before at all. And it's actually really good to know about that because it's also made me aware of, like, you know, when I turned off my tap and stuff. So
Yeah, completely.
it's making a difference.
Yeah.
It's good to know that it's
Yeah.
making a difference.
That's really cool. Okay, well,
Drop at a time.
I think we are kind of done, unless you guys have got anything else you want to ask me or want to find out. Or, I don't know.
3 fun and interesting.
Fun and interesting
Oh
facts about
my
you.
god! I only said to you I've got nothing that's fun and interesting.
Come on.
Nothing that could be said on
It's just
daytime
one.
television.
One.
But I'm trying to think on. Let's see. Oh my gosh.
Oh, you're put on the spot now.
Oh, I really am. I should have been clever and thought about this in the background.
I
Shouldn't
think
I?
it'd be so.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
a
okay.
quick one, wasn't it?
Interesting. A couple of interesting, maybe I don't know. So when I was younger, a lot younger, I was about 8, and it's funny how things go full circle. I used to put on. As 8, I don't know how I did it, but I used to put on talent shows in my
my
school.
God.
I was 8 years old, and I used to persuade my teacher to put on talent contests within our sort of class. And I used to have, it was more like a little review. So we would have dancers, artists, people who did art,
Wow, okay.
singers,
Yeah.
and we would just get them together and we would all perform. Funny enough, I used to be a ballet dancer as
Oh my
well,
gosh.
classical ballet dancer.
can so
So
imagine.
I used to dance in my own competition. That was so lame. But it's one of those things. And
You got to though, come on, you got to.
and then one of the girls who was an artist, I used to get her to draw up the actual certificates.
Oh my
so she would hand draw all the
God.
certificates, and I used to get her to do all of that. So that was
So you've
the
always
thing.
been like.
So that was then,
organised
and then I
these
kind of
things.
died
It's so
down. It's
cool.
kind of gone back that way.
Yeah.
So that's one.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, that is
Interesting
interesting.
fact.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's one interesting fact. That was
And you started from 8.
I was 8 years old,
Very
and I used to
entrepreneurial.
persuade my teacher to do it. Like, right, this is what I want to do. How I have no
amazing.
idea how, but that's what I used to do.
That's
and
great.
and yeah, and it was actually my teacher was Mr. Moriarty from Boston, Massachusetts. And the only other thing that I've done that was probably fun and interesting when I was working at this company called enjoywork.com. So they used to, in the summer times, all have like barbecues and fun things to do. And this particular summer, they had 2 interesting activities, week back to back. The first one was a rocket bungee. And I looked at it and I thought, okay, I'll try it.
The bungee jump thing.
So, but it's different. So you sit in a capsule. There's 2 of you sit in a capsule. And you've got rocket bungee strings either side, and then they just let it go.
Oh my gosh.
Obviously, it's attached on the other end, so it pins up like a big,
Catapult.
yeah,
Oh my.
essentially big sort of catapult in a ball.
When was that?
That was probably about 10 years ago now. But when I sit there, and the funny thing is, I'm in it and I'm looking at the views, and the view is amazing. And then as you're coming back down, you're going, hang on, if I go back up and the strings are loose, where am I going to end?
Oh my God.
Where am I going to end up? But it was a fun thing to do. The following week, they had free falling. So you climb up this, I don't know, scaffold sort
I've
of
done
thing.
that. Yeah, I realised that I've done that too.
And
Where you
then
just
you kind of
literally
just literally
fall
just
from a cliff kind of thing.
Fall, but it was urban free falling. So,
Oh wow.
so you
Oh
just
my God.
outdoors.
Like outside, like in a.
Yeah,
oh,
so it was
wow.
just a really high sort of thing down to this net.
Oh my-
Obviously,
oh,
if
to
you
a net.
bounce wrong, you bounce off.
Yeah.
And
Bounce off where?
So you got to really bend your knees. Yeah.
so literally just just.
So is it like a
down.
Spider-Man thing? So you're climbing a building, and
So
then
you climb up the side of the scaffold and then literally go up to the top,
Yeah.
and you just drop. You just fall.
You're laughing.
You just kind of fall.
I don't get it.
I wasn't Spider-Man, but
Do some words and then she was like.
I didn't Spider-Man up the wall. No, that didn't happen.
No, but
But
that's how I'm trying to understand it.
no, so you climb. It's just like a ladder. It's like a proper sort of
Yeah,
thing.
and you just let go.
And you go
That
up
is
there
so
and you let go.
scary. That's bravery. You'd be a Gryffindor.
I'll be a Gryffindor.
That's true, actually. That's true.
Right, okay, so I think we've covered everything, ladies. It's been amazing having a chat with you. So let's do a little ladies do lunch, little cheers.
And has a little
With the
teaspoon.
colours.
Interesting points though, sorry. Wait.
Give it to me honestly, no lid, so I can sniff, make sure sweet before I try. Hey, that's just me on my espresso cruise.